Manchester City and Arsenal have now verbally agreed a deal for Gabriel Jesus. Highly likely that the move will be completed within the next 7 to 10 days. Personal terms will see the player earn around 220k per week at Arsenal. Jacob Benz speaking at the Football Terrace. So rather lads, welcome back to Cossy's Arsenal podcast. My name is Cossy. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in all parts of the world. Welcome back to the podcast, to a brand new video as we continue to dive into follow Arsenal transfer news as we try to find out where it will be leading. The number of Brazilians that Arsenal are trying to sign this summer, really huge. And a couple of deals are getting closer and closer and closer. Of course, now we have agreed a fee with Manchester City for the signing of Gabriel Jesus. Jacob Benz, that is CBS Sport confirming, but he's also given us a very interesting update around Youri Tielemans. Sit down, hit the like button, let's get the video to 800 likes, subscribe to the podcast because we're very close to 46,000 subscribers, and then enjoy the content. Let's get into it. That has been confirmed first and foremost by Jacob Benz. The Manchester City and Arsenal have now verbally agreed a fee for Gabriel Jesus. It is highly likely that the move will be completed within the next 7 to 10 days. Personal terms will see the player earn around £220,000 per week at Arsenal. Jacob Benz at the Football Terrace. Now, watching it to know about Jacob Benz is one of those very, very credible journalists. I mean, he's credible. I don't doubt him. I think he's working for a very reliable outlet as well, CBS Golazo, so you don't need to doubt him. And I mean, he's been very, very consistent as well when it comes to this deal and the Youri Tielemans deal that I'm going to report about in the next few minutes because he was the first journalist to report that Arsenal were interested in Youri Tielemans. We had tabled a deal for his representatives, and the player was willing to join Arsenal Football Club. But of course, the first bit of the news is around Gabriel Jesus. Like I said yesterday, Fabrizio Romano confirmed that the deal was in advanced stages, and with Romano, I think what he was afraid of was saying. I think he was afraid of saying, I don't want to, was afraid of saying, look, they have agreed personal terms and everything like that, or they have reached an agreement for a fee. All he said, a deal is in advanced stages, and Arsenal should now work very, very fast around personal terms and the other, personal details to get the deal done, because PSG and Tottenham Hotspur were waiting around the corner. But today in the morning, we received a confirmation that Gabriel Jesus was not interested in signing for any other club. He never wanted to sign for any other club outside the Premier League and also inside the Premier League. His priority was always Arsenal Football Club. And it was always going to be, Arsenal, him moving to Arsenal, because Arsenal are willing to pay the wages of the player, and also they're guaranteeing him that shirt number 9, and also is going to be the pivot at Arsenal Football Club. So the fee that is being proposed now, let's go back into the speculation until we find the right fee. At the moment, the fee in speculation is 60 million euros. And now it is believed that Arsenal's first offer was 30 million euros, as reported by David Onstein and Goal.com. But that was turned down. I reported that. And if you've been watching and following the podcast, you know much about that. So that was turned down. Manchester City told Arsenal that they will need an extra 30 million euros to get the deal done. And I'll tell you my opinion about that, because I feel it's a little bit hefty. I feel it's a little bit too much for Gabriel Jesus and the fact that his contract has been running down. But the good news here, lads, is we are doing our transfer business early, and we're getting this deal over the line. I mean, you cannot guarantee. Yes, a couple of deals go in that direction where one team can just sign a player and other teams are out of the picture. It happened to Arsenal and a couple of other clubs in in January for Dusan Vlahovic. Vlahovic was really wanted by a couple of clubs, but Juve was his priority always, 100% number one priority. And he said, look, I would rather stay at Theo than move in the summer to Juve than move in January and move abroad or move to another club. So what Arsenal did, and I've done better in this deal as compared to the rivals Tottenham Hotspur, Manchester United. I don't know if they were even interested. Chelsea and Real Madrid and AC. First and foremost, they have told the player, you're going to be our number 9 for the new project. You're going to put on the shirt number 9 and you will play every game as long as you're fit. So you expect Gabriel Jesus to come in at Arsenal and play for you 38 Premier League games. That is that is part of that is part of the agreement that they have with Edu. And then the other thing is, he was talking about huge fees. And look, I don't think any club is going to give Gabriel Jesus 220,000 pounds per week. For what? I mean, if I'm Spurs and I have Harry Kane, there is no reason I'm signing Gabriel Jesus or 220k per wages per week. If I'm Chelsea, yes, Romelu Lukaku is leaving to Inter Milan on loan, which is a stupid deal in my opinion. But I don't see how Chelsea give him 220k per week, because Chelsea are not new to having these kind of big signings, and I don't think Gabriel Jesus would be a big signing to Chelsea. So the fact that Arsenal agreed to the terms and conditions, 190k initially reported, now stretching up to 220,000 per week, which will stretch to up to 240,000 if Arsenal got into the UEFA Champions League. It's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. There is no way the player was going to leave such incentives to sign for another club because they have UCL and things like that. We know when it comes to South American players, it's the money. They love the money. Back to the agreement between Arsenal and Manchester City. So like I said, it's 60 million euros that Manchester City were demanding. Gold Brazil did confirm a couple of, I think, hours ago, 72 or 48 hours ago, that the Arsenal had tabled a 58 million euro bid, around 45 million plus bonuses, and that would that would go to 58 million euros. Of course, they were asking for 60, only 2 million euros apart, and I think Arsenal eventually agreed the deal. Now, I can also confirm that Tottenham Hotspur, Chelsea, AC Milan, and Real Madrid never put in a bid for Gabriel Jesus. That is also 100% true. They'd never even tried to come close to the deal. It was always, Arsenal who were always leading this deal. So, like Jacob Benz said, it's going. Ben Jacobs actually, not Jacob Benz. I say it's gonna take 7 to 10 days, and the patience in the window is gonna be required. Listen, Arsenal have signed in Fabio Vieira within 72 hours, within 78 hours, and that deal is done. But that is a cheap signing. That is 40 million euros, not even in guaranteed payments. And Fabio Vieira is not a high-profile signing. It's all about moving to FC Porto. They want 50 million euros, and you tell them, I'm giving you 10 million. I'm giving you a fee, but 10 million euros less. Are you getting the money? And they'll say, look, we are selling Vitinha for around 35. If we can get another 40 in Fabio Vieira, that's 70 million euros in the summer. We are done. And that is their model. So, and of course, if you remember what we did with Nuno Tavares last campaign, signing in from Benfica, it was that easy. 2 days, those deals are done, because those are easy deals. They're not complicated in any way. But when you talk about deals, including players that are played at a top level, if you're talking about players that are wanted by the club, because rumors are that Pep Guardiola told the player and his entourage he would love them to stay, and his aim is to have the biggest rotation in the world. Just have Erling Haaland rotated with Gabriel Jesus, rotated with I think Alvarez, the new striker from is it River Plate, then rotated with Phil Foden as a false 9, then rotated with Jack Grealish as well as a false 9 at times, and they rotated with Kevin De Bruyne as a false 9. That is what he wants. And the player is not happy at that. He wants regular game time, and he wants to be the number 9. And the moment Arsenal came in with that, it was always going to be very, very hard for Pep Guardiola to convince him otherwise. So that agreement is in place, but 7 to 10 days, we will have to wait. Honestly, the patience is going to be key in these deals. It's going to be key. Yeah, I mean, you're going to tell me, Cossy, but Arsenal is very slow. Cossy, Arsenal should be signing these deals very early. Look at what happened last season when we began the season without our signings ready. I understand, but, it's only one man, Edu. And of course, he said he works with a couple of people, which is a team, the legal team and the data team and the analysis team. But at the end of the day, it's Edu. It's Edu working on these deals. And the fact that, he's working with deals with high demand, that is what you want. You don't want Arsenal to be going into deals of players that are not even picking up interest from the top clubs around Europe. You want Arsenal to be signing, clubs, to be signing players that are wanted by huge clubs around Europe, and that is what Eddie is trying to do. Go for Rafinha, go for Gabriel Jesus, go for Yves Bissouma, lose that one, go for Fabio Vieira. No one is interested anyway, but top talent, right? That is what you want your club to be doing, signing players that are highly competitive in the market, and eventually they're going to bring in that competitiveness in terms of value on the pitch. So Arsenal, deal are great, 7 to 10 days. Jesus Christ, I wanted to get this done this week, but the fact that we have a verbal agreement just makes me feel a little better. The fact that we've not completed the deal, it also means that another team can come in and hijack this deal. They have to do three things. One, they have to confirm that they will give the player regular game time as their number 9. They have also to confirm. They have to confirm that they will pay 220,000 pounds per week into the account of the player, and also they will pay more money than Arsenal have agreed to pay to Manchester City. If they can do that, then they will be taking the player. I don't see many clubs at the market in the market right now. Madrid just confirmed, we are out of the market. We are not buying more players. It's over for us. We brought in Aurelien Tchouameni. Haven't you seen him? We've seen him. You've seen him. All of you have seen him. We are not actually buying anyone. We've just brought in the biggest transfer of the summer. And Liverpool just said we are bringing in Darwin Núñez for the same amount of money. Anyway, so that is confirmed. It's deal are great. But I also want to point you to the fact that Ben Jacobs has spoken around Yuri Tielemans. First and foremost, if you look at that, it confirms that Ben Jacobs, who was the first journalist in January to report that AFC's interest in Yuri Tielemans, also adds that there is still contact between the club and Yuri Tielemans, just that it is unlikely to happen before the end of the month. Says this is part of the gamesmanship of the transfer window, right? So that is now confirmed as well. That is quite interesting, isn't it? Very, very interesting. But there is something I wanted to show you here, and that is it. This is it. Breaking: AFC put a lot of work for Tielemans' deal last year and agreed personal terms with the player. Arsenal have always wanted to pay £25 million. Leicester want 30, 31, 32 million pounds in that region and could ask for add-ons. There has to be a compromise for the deal to go through. Now that is huge. We've talked about Gabriel Jesus. That is huge. This guy, massive update. Thank you so much, Ben. I mean, it just trashes all these reports. The transfer has gone cold. The interest has gone cold. It has not gone cold. Arsenal are not willing to pay over the odds. And Charles Watts just said it today in the morning, that at the moment, when you have a deal and it's so easy to negotiate and you buy the player, it's either you're overpaying for that player, right? And for me, it's true. It's absolutely true. Yuri Tielemans doesn't want to stay with them. They know they do not want to lose him on a free. 25 million on a player on 1 year. That's enough. Honestly, that's enough. I mean, it's the same thing with Gabriel Jesus. I think that the point here with Gabriel Jesus is that Arsenal are desperate, right? Are desperate for a striker. And if you look at the market, how many strikers are you going to get for his quality for 60 million euros or less? Probably not so many. But with Yuri Tielemans, Fabian Ruiz is available for 25 million pounds. If they don't want to give us Yuri Tielemans, we go for Fabian Ruiz. We go for Asamoah. So they know, and Arsenal believe they'll get this deal done, and Leicester City will agree to a compromise. My name is Cossy. Hit the like button. Subscribe to the podcast. Breaking news: Arsenal do agree. have found a verbal agreement with Manchester City on the price for Gabriel Jesus. Deal will be completed in the next 7 to 10 days. We'll discuss more of this on the podcast as time evolves.